This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm Stephanie Roberts. Ray Collins has today off. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to call this Ladies' Choice today because First Alert forecaster Wendy Ross is in for John Scalzi and joins us now in the Weather Center. Just the girls today, Wendy.
I know, and I think we deserve a badge, don't you? I mean, it's awfully early, and it's the end of the week. We made it through. That's great. And, of course, we are looking at very humid conditions out there once again today, and especially starting out this morning. We are seeing a couple of showers located offshore, partly cloudy to cloudy skies across the region. Temperatures right now are where they're supposed to be in the mid-70s at this hour, and so we're going to continue to see these rain showers located offshore, staying away from shore. That's all associated with the low pressure system that is moving away from the state of Florida. And so we've had a stray shower out there this morning, but we'll be getting rains back in the forecast later on this afternoon with a 40 to 50% chance of rain in our forecast for today. Stephanie?
All right, we'll keep those umbrellas handy. So watch out for damp conditions even on the roads this morning. But the good news is, obviously, it's early and traffic is not an issue. Both the Palmetto bridges look just fine. I-75 is moving well. Still some construction overnight being reported on State Road 70. It is all quiet in Sarasota. No problems on the interstate. Tamiami Trail looks fine, and it's an easy trip across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark roads. Moving down into South County. Does not look like overnight construction will pose any problems for your early morning commute. It is 5:02, and in this morning's top story, a public relations firm just hired by the Sarasota County School District is out the door. Based on an investigation by the Herald Tribune, the newspaper says that they discovered online comments that appeared to be from different people who were linked to the PR firm's president. ABC 7's Rick Adams has more.
I would say the word is disappointing.
Todd Bowden, superintendent of schools for Sarasota County, is reacting to the news he heard from a Herald Tribune reporter investigating some online posts that appear to originate from 360 Communications, the public relations firm under contract with the Sarasota County School District. We're being told the online comments were in support of some stories related to the school district.
I was excited about where our efforts in community relations were headed. And so that activity, I would say, I felt was beneath them.
Just days ago, 360 Communications signed a $225,000 two-year contract with the school district after working with them month to month. The superintendent asked Candace McCallia and her PR firm to resign, which she did, and the contract was canceled.
As superintendent of schools, I have to hold all of our employees, to include our contractors, to very high standards. And I believe that her actions in this particular instance didn't meet those standards.
In a statement from Candace McCallia, she says, "It's unfortunate that a small group of staff within the district communications department are working to counteract and undermine all of the wonderful work being done for Sarasota County students." In reacting to that statement, the superintendent says, "My decision to seek the resignation of 360 Communications was based on their actions alone." Bowden tells us the firm will be paid on a prorated basis for the work they've done, and there is no cost for severing the contract. He says it'll take some time to decide what's next for the school district.
We'll regroup, we'll get a plan in place and make sure that we maintain our forward momentum. I believe we were headed in the right direction.
As for McCallia, she also says, "We are looking into the allegations made against our firm and all our current and former employees who have had access to our confidential information." We were able to reach Sarasota County School Board Chair Caroline Zucker late Thursday night. She says she's surprised and discouraged in what she calls a violation of trust. In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Other school board members could not be reached for a comment on the story this morning. Tropical storm Nate is expected to bring some heavy winds and rain to the Suncoast this weekend. Governor Scott has already declared a state of emergency for the northern part of our state. Nate is currently on a trajectory to hit parts of the southern U.S. Gulf Coast, possibly including the Panhandle. There's a possibility that this storm also could be a Category 1 hurricane by landfall. We will keep monitoring and issuing updates on Tropical Storm Nate as it approaches the Gulf Coast. And of course, you can get those right here on ABC 7. In the aftermath of the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, Republicans in Congress and even the NRA seem to be willing to consider looking into restrictions on bump stocks. And just that news alone is resulting on a big increase in sales on those devices at local gun shops. A gun store in Venice says it received several calls about the bump stock attachment, and now the distributor is completely sold out. Salesman Chaz Sizemore says bump stocks are fairly simple to attach to a weapon.
Anyone with simple mechanical abilities can install them as long as they know the rifle they're installing it to. I installed one for a customer yesterday and took all of 5 minutes.
Representative Vern Buchanan has tweeted his support for bump stock restrictions. Protesters took to the streets of Sarasota last night to voice their opinions on gun violence. The Sarasota County chapter of the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence met at the Bayfront to start their 6th season of advocating for gun violence prevention. They also paid tribute to the victims and survivors of the Las Vegas massacre. They are demanding that state and national leaders take action on this issue.
I don't believe that we need guns for protection. I'd sooner get hit by a car or a bus than get shot with a gun. So I'm here to stand up for those things.
The group has been in Sarasota for the last 5 years fighting against the use of assault weapons. Riverview High School principal Dr. Paul Burns is notifying parents about an altercation involving a BB gun at school. Burns left a voicemail for parents saying that a fight broke out between 2 students and one of them was in possession of a BB gun. That gun was never fired, but the student who brought the gun to school is now in the custody of the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. The case of a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy accused of attempted murder will likely go to the jury today. Attorneys defending Frank Bybee finished testimony Thursday, with deputies describing the scene of the victim's home on the night of the alleged incident. Bybee is charged with stealing thousands of dollars from an elderly woman and then trying to kill her. He has denied all charges. Attorneys will give closing arguments today before handing that case over to the jury. New developments in the Janessa Shannon murder case. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office announced that they have arrested Janessa's father, Nashon Shannon. He had been charged with first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. Detectives say on July 1st, Janessa's father picked her up from her mother's home in Bradenton. According to detectives, at some point, Janessa and her father got into an argument that led to the 13-year-old's death. That investigation is now ongoing. Shannon is being held at the Hillsborough County Jail. The Sable Trace Golf Course in Northport has been closed since 2015 after the owners defaulted on their payment. That property has changed hands several times, but now it may finally have a new owner. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley explains.
Well, this property used to be an 18-hole golf course. It has been closed since 2015 and has since turned into a jungle. But that may be about to change.
I was a member here for, at least 20 years.
George Burt lives abutting the now closed golf course.
It's really a detriment to property values the way it is now for an abutter like myself.
The property went up for auction in August. At least 2 buyers have backed out over environmental concerns, primarily high levels of arsenic in the ground. The property price has consistently dropped with each sale. It went for $2.7 million the first go-round. The latest buyer, Mark Geringer, is getting it for $1.3 million.
Is it safe to say he might run into a harder time getting his ideas passed and a rezone if he doesn't have any golf holes?
Absolutely.
Jim Glass sits on the local homeowners board. He's spoken to the new buyer about having even a small course rebuilt, but that may be a long shot because of the environmental problems.
I understand his concern, but also I understand that he bought it for considerably less than he initially tried to.
Glass is encouraging the new buyer to use the money he saved in the purchase price towards a golf course.
I just don't see it in the numbers. And similar to the previous buyer and the previous buyer before that, they realized the same thing.
Geringer said removing the arsenic from the property will be very costly. He isn't sure it would be financially feasible to build even a 9-hole course on the land, but nothing is for sure until an environmental test is conducted. This new potential buyer hopes to have the property closed on next Tuesday. He told us if the sale does go through, the very first thing he wants to have done out here is have the grass mowed. In Northport, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
The Sarasota chapter of the NAACP had their 32nd annual banquet at the Hyatt in Sarasota Thursday night. That event recognizes and awards those in the county who have made contributions to the community. Some of the recipients of this year's awards include Habitat for Humanity, Newtown Nation President Valerie Bush, and Joanne Martin Hughes, who received the Lifetime Achievement Award. The Sarasota Police Department is stepping in to regulate derelict boats in our area. Citizens are concerned with what the city is doing with these boats after Hurricane Irma. Many did get removed before Irma hit, but for those that are still there, the police department now has to follow the derelict vessel process. It's a long one. They reach out to the owner of the boat and try to get them to take responsibility for it. Sometimes they do, and other times they don't have the means to take care of it, which means the police department will then dispose of the boat to keep it from sinking or polluting our water.
If this boat were to sink, it has all, it looks pretty from afar, but it has might have fuel tanks in it. It might have an engine in there with gas and oil, might have batteries in it. All that stuff is toxic when it goes into the water. We don't want it polluting our waterways. We live in a beautiful area with beautiful waters, and we need to look out for the environment and the animals living in the local areas.
Sergeant King says this is a precautionary measure to look out for the environment and other boaters' rights. Puerto Rican families are taking refuge here on the Suncoast with plans to stay long-term after Hurricane Maria devastated the island. Both Sarasota and Manatee County schools are seeing dozens of students from Puerto Rico enroll. Manatee schools have welcomed 36 students from Puerto Rico since Hurricane Maria. Sarasota County has welcomed another 4, and the districts expect those numbers to rise.
It was really destroyed. All the windows from the kids, they were all destroyed. Really, no one could have classes that fast. The director of my school wanted to start the class on this Monday, but they can't because all it's destroyed.
That is Jorge, and his parents enrolled him in the Sarasota County School District, and he will start at Riverview High on Monday. This weekend, the Suncoast community will walk and pray to bring awareness for a missing Sarasota teen. 14-year-old Jabez Spann has been missing since September 4th. He was last seen near 23rd Street in Sarasota just before Hurricane Irma hit our area. The Federal Bureau of Investigations has joined the investigation to find him. Currently, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Sarasota Police are offering a $6,000 reward for information about Spann. A prayer walk will be held for Spann on Sunday to raise awareness for him and also gather community support to find him. That event will take place from 3 to 6 p.m. Sunday at Newtown Estates Park in Sarasota. And finally, Sarasota Jungle Gardens will reopen this Saturday for the first time since Hurricane Irma. That storm toppled trees, it damaged plumbing, down power lines, and made the jungle area completely impassable. Some exhibits are still closed while crews continue working on and making some repairs, but you'll be able to see the flamingos, the showbirds, and the alligators starting this Sunday. The park is offering 50% off regular admission. Happening today, it's that time again. Music on Main is back in Lakewood Ranch. The monthly event features live music, beer, wine, and food for the whole family. Tonight, you want to come check out Goodbye Eddie and their classic rock sounds. Bring your chairs, but leave the coolers at home. Dogs are welcome, and the event runs from 6 to 9 p.m. Hopefully, we won't need the umbrellas. And the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit is getting a new crime dog. Meet Ando. He is a male Dutch Shepherd. He was handpicked by his partner, Deputy Kevin Scow, whose K-9 partner, Hyro, retired in July. The pup recently earned his National Police K-9 Association BOMB certification and will now assist on special details throughout Sarasota County. The unit now has a total of 6 dogs and 6 handlers. That's such a special bond.
Yes. Oh, and he is gorgeous.
He absolutely is. It's so neat. Those dogs live to work and serve. Like, that's what makes them happy, is being sent out to work. So it's really a great use of a couple of different skill sets.
And they are gorgeous, too.
Yes.
All at the same time. Well, we are looking at some light rains that have come on through. They're moving off very quickly, and we'll let you know what we can expect for this upcoming weekend. The weekend forecast. If you have plans, you want to pay attention.
Oh, I hope we're going to need umbrellas as well. Also, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll have First Alert Traffic. And our Linda Carson has some fun weekend events to show off on this week's edition of Suncoast Scene. Plus, coming up a little later in the hour, an update on the aftermath of the Las Vegas mass shooting. Stay with us.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
We are going to see a day today very much like yesterday, where we had a lot of cloud cover, and every once in a while these showers would come on through, and that's what we've got going on for today, with a 50% chance of rain throughout the afternoon hours. Temperatures are going to be anywhere from 86 to 88 degrees or 89 degrees, so it's going to be another hot day along the Suncoast. And right now we're starting off with temperatures just about everywhere in the 70s. Along the beaches we've got readings in the mid to upper 70s, and as you move inland we're seeing pretty much the same thing across parts of our area. And you can see all the way down through Charlotte County, we're experiencing the same thing, with temperatures slightly warmer down to the south. And we're going to start to see some changes as far as those winds are concerned. They're not going to be as strong today as they have been over the past couple of days. That pressure gradient finally releasing just a little bit as that low pressure system has now moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. So 75 degrees for us right now. Our humidity is high. Those winds are out of the east at around 9 miles per hour. The dew points are back up as well, so it feels a little sticky outside as you're walking out the door. And you'll also notice that we've got the rain showers out here. That is all associated with that low pressure system that moved from Miami across the state of Florida yesterday, and it's now located out in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is moving away from the state. So a lot of these showers are just kind of moving on towards the north, and we're getting a spray of those showers along the coastline. But right now we're not expected to see a whole lot of rain developing throughout the morning hours. Later on this afternoon we'll get some of these showers coming on through, and again just a 50% chance of rain, but the same kind of thing where you'll go outside, there's cloudy weather, all of a sudden a shower comes on through, and then things relax once again. So that's what's going to be happening for the rest of the day. As far as Nate is concerned, still a big sprawly system out here in the Caribbean. It's going to continue to make its way towards the north, and of course as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico it's going to pick up some extra fuel there. there, and that's when it's really going to accelerate and move on in. We're expecting landfall sometime on Sunday, somewhere around Louisiana and possibly the panhandle of Florida. So here's our winds right now, 45-mile-per-hour winds. It's picked up some forward speed, north-northwest at 14 miles per hour. It's going to glance off the Yucatan Peninsula. We've got watches and warnings in effect all across this area, as you can see, and we're going to start to see some acceleration in the intensity of this storm. 60-mile-per-hour winds moving into the Gulf of Mexico, and before it makes landfall, we're expecting it to become a hurricane, a Category 1 with 80-mile-per-hour winds, and the landfall destination is somewhere between Louisiana and the panhandle of Florida, and already hurricane watches have gone into effect across parts of the coastline for Louisiana all the way over to the Florida panhandle. So that's where we stand right now. Over the next several days, we are looking at the possibility of some showers, thunderstorms all the way through Sunday. We'll have plenty of tropical moisture that we're going to be dealing with. Stephanie.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Checking out First Alert traffic, we are still quiet this morning down in South County. There is now an accident, though, popping up on I-75. It's right there where 275 splits off from I-75. So we are not seeing any backups, of course, since it is early, but that's something we'll continue to keep an eye on. In Sarasota, it is quiet across Bee Ridge and Fruitville roads. However, Clark Road starting to show some volume at this early hour. Down into South County, as we reported, no accidents and delays. Still some construction, though, popping up on US 41. Well, the weekend is here on the Suncoast, and of course, we are jam-packed with events ranging from concerts to cookouts. Here's Linda Carson with Suncoast Scene.
It's going to be a great night in Lakewood Ranch Friday night. Kim Betts and the Gamble Creek Band are playing at Music on Main. There'll be lots of food, fun, and activities. Come by the ABC7 booth and say hello.
And the 18th annual Morton's Chili Firehouse Cook-Off is this Sunday between 2 and 5, and it's right here at Morton's between Hillview and Hyde.
This year, 16 teams will be competing.
You purchase a ticket, and that ticket will give you one sample at all 16 booths. And something special about this year, this is the first year that we've had the police departments join us. So we have Sarasota Police Department and the Sarasota Sheriff's Office also going to be competing.
The judges will pick their favorites, and you can vote on the People's Choice Awards, and the proceeds go to a worthy cause.
The proceeds go back to the Sarasota Firefighters Benevolent Fund. It's a local nonprofit organization that we're both on the board of. So the money goes back to help any local firefighters and ones that are even non-local that are in times of need.
And there's a big treat coming to the Opera House Saturday night.
The first Piano Grand concert was a sold-out sensation here at the Opera House that left people begging for more. So it's back with a whole new program this weekend.
This is a unique program featuring 5 of the best pianists in Sarasota. We have 5 concert grands coming down from New York City, and the digital delights of these 5 players is going to be incredible at the Opera House this coming Saturday.
My father said, come on home. And Beehive, the 60s musical, is now playing at the Venice Theater.
Goes from 1960 all the way to 69, so all those types of music, from the fun novelty songs like My Boyfriend's Back and The Name Game, through the mod era of the British invasion, and then Janis Joplin and Aretha Franklin and all those great singers.
That's in the Pinkerton Theater at the Venice Theater. Also now playing at the Venice Theater.
On the main stage, we have a show called You Can't Take It With You, which is a classic comedy by Kaufman and Hart. Great story about the Sycamore family and all the fun that they have in life. And then we've got the Gold Tones, which are a doo-wop group on Sunday night.
A great lineup of events to jazz up your weekend. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Linda. Good that some of those events are indoor with higher rain chances. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, bad news for binge watchers. Netflix raising the price of its standard video streaming plan. We'll tell you by how much. And then coming up at 5:30, an update on President Trump's transgender ban and the lawsuit trying to stop it. We'll have those stories and more. Right now, it's 5:24.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? you'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We're taking a look outside, a gorgeous shot of downtown there from our tower cam. Off to a bit of a drizzly start as you cross the bridge this morning. Wendy reports that we will have off and on showers, especially this afternoon with more humidity in the air. Taking a look at Tech Bites this morning, Netflix is getting ready for a big price hike. ABC's Ron Claiborne and Diane Macedo have details.
In today's Tech Bites, price hikes are on the way for Netflix subscribers.
The streaming service is increasing the cost of its standard and premium plans. Standard goes up $1, premium jumps $2.
The increases take effect next month. And Amazon is testing its own delivery service that could move products out more quickly and reduce its reliance on FedEx and UPS.
Amazon plans to call the service Seller Flex, and the trial is already up and running on the West Coast. And a new pint-sized stormtrooper robot created by a Chinese company may be the ultimate holiday gift for any Star Wars fan.
It can be programmed to understand voice commands and uses facial recognition to identify up to 3 people. A Jedi mind trick won't get you one, but about $300 will. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
I'm still going to try the
Please.
Jedi mind trick, I think.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Do that to me.
No?
No,
Not
do it
working?
to them.
No, okay.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Disabled American Veterans.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Americans, 83% try to eat healthy, yet up to 90% fall short on getting key nutrients. Let's do more. One-A-Day Men's, complete with key nutrients we may need, plus heart health support with B vitamins. One-A-Day Men's.
Got a minute? Not for me, for you. Aveeno Positively Radiant 60-second in-shower facial works with steam to reveal glowing skin in just 1 minute. Aveeno, naturally beautiful results.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
On the next Black Almanac.
At the beginning of Southern school integration in many districts not so many years ago, white families began leaving public schools to start private schools or segregationist academies. Later, the political elite saw money could be made, refined the process, and now we have charter schools.
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC 7.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, investigators are still trying to pinpoint a motive for the Las Vegas mass shooting. Plus, President Trump's controversial transgender military ban and the lawsuit that's trying to end it. And how the people of New Orleans are getting ready for Tropical Storm Nate. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. It is 5:33. I'm Stephanie Roberts, and thanks for joining us this morning. Ray Collins has today off, so it is a lady's choice on a Friday. I'm happy to have First Alert forecaster Wendy Ross with us as we start to make the weekend plans. And Wendy, we were actually in Epcot for the taping of the Chew for Walt Disney World yesterday, and there was a lot of rain.
I know.
A lot of rain.
I know. And this is all that low pressure system that finally moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. And so now most of that rain has moved out there as well. The winds are not going to be as strong today. And what we are looking at right now are temperatures in the mid 70s. But we're starting to still see those clouds out there. And very much like yesterday, we are going to have the cloud cover coming on through with the occasional rain showers coming on in. So that's pretty much what we can expect to experience throughout the day. Most of the rain that we're seeing out in the Gulf of Mexico is moving away from shore. That's all being pulled away by that low pressure system. And right now we're not seeing any rain showers around, but they are coming back. There is a 50% chance of rain for later on this afternoon, Steph.
All right, we'll keep those umbrellas handy. Thank you very much. Taking a look at traffic, First Alert forecast and traffic together showing the construction still on State Road 70 early this morning, but we are not dealing with a lot of slowdowns in Manatee County. So some good news now. We were looking at an accident on I-75 at 275 earlier. It appears to be cleared. All quiet in Sarasota. Nothing coming across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, or Clark Roads to pose any problems. And things look fine in South County as well. Topping our news at 5:34 this morning, the latest on the Las Vegas mass shooting. The motive to the shooting remains unknown, but police say the attack was obviously premeditated. The massacre is also leading to the first signs of movement in the gun control stalemate in Washington. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest.
In Las Vegas, thousands gathering to pay tribute. Off-duty Las Vegas police officer Charleston Hartfield, one of the 58 lives taken in the deadliest shooting in modern U.S. history.
We have officially identified all 58 victims.
As we learn more about the victims, FBI agents continue picking through the chaos left behind in the hotel room of the shooter and on the ground, as investigators unravel more about the shooter's past. ABC News has learned Stephen Paddock may have scouted other targets. Sources say phone records show Google searches for hotels around Fenway Park in Boston, and in August, he booked rooms at Chicago's Blackstone Hotel across the street from Grant Park on the same dates as the Lollapalooza Festival. But no evidence he traveled to either. In Washington, Democrats introduced legislation to ban those bump stock adapters, like the one found on a dozen of the shooter's weapons. And a growing number of top Republicans also open to the idea.
I think there'll be bipartisan support to deal with it.
Overnight, the nation's most powerful gun lobbyists clearing their original statement that bump stocks should be subject to additional regulations. The NRA's president on Fox News.
That being said, we didn't say ban, we didn't say confiscate.
As for the president's position,
we'll be looking into that over the next short period.
Nearly a week after the massacre, the shooter's motives are still unclear. But today, federal Homeland Security officials reaching out to local police departments, warning them of possible copycats. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
An update now on President Trump's controversial transgender military ban. The Department of Justice is now asking a federal judge to dismiss that lawsuit that seeks to stop the ban. The motion marks the first time that the Department of Justice has responded to legal challenges of the ban. It argues that the lawsuit is premature because the policy has not even gone into effect yet. The DOJ says the military is not taking any action until after a policy review is completed. Attorneys also argued that courts are not equipped to second-guess military decisions. And Attorney General Jeff Sessions now says transgender workers are not protected under a 1964 federal civil rights law against sex discrimination. Title VII bans employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. Sessions wrote in a memo to federal prosecutors that Title VII doesn't cover discrimination based on gender identity. His formal decision is a reversal of the guidance issued by former Attorney General Eric Holder under the Obama administration. Mitsubishi is recalling 66,000 cars for a second time to replace faulty Takata airbag inflators. Takata inflators use ammonium nitrate to cause a small explosion and inflate the bags in a crash. But that chemical can deteriorate over time. It can burn too fast and explode with too much force, all spewing shrapnel. Up to 19 people have died worldwide. More than 180 have been injured as a result of this. Mitsubishi says it now has a permanent replacement part that doesn't use ammonium nitrate. The executives of General Electric are losing a big perk, their company cars. The move is part of the company's overall cost reduction plan. GE is hoping to save $2 billion in costs by the end of 2018. The latest announcement comes weeks after General Electric said it would ground its fleet of corporate jets to save money. It's not clear how much money the company will save from ending its corporate jet program, and it declined to indicate how much the corporate car program has cost the company. New Orleans is now under a state of emergency. This is all ahead of Tropical Storm Nate, which will enter the Gulf this weekend. There are no evacuations in place for the city, but officials are urging residents to get prepared. Catherine Mazzoni has the story.
Bill Scott has less than 24 hours
basically strip it off
to make sure his boat is storm ready.
Exactly. All these lines you see are going to get an additional line, a heavier line.
At noon Friday, the marina where he keeps Panache will close its gates in anticipation of Tropical Storm Nate.
It's like anything else. You got to secure your property. You hopefully prevent missile damage, that is chairs and things that get blown up in the air and sail forth to hurt other people.
Already lake levels are high.
And we already have a full moon, so that's my biggest concern.
Back on land, drivers are flocking to the pumps.
Get it while you can, because it might be hard to get it later.
At this station on Causeway, attendants say they haven't had a spare moment since the 4 o'clock news.
It's been crazy.
It's a similar story at this Costco on Carrollton, where the line for fuel is close to 6 cars deep. This just hours after locals learned the mayor had declared a state of emergency for New Orleans.
Although overall rainfall may not be as high as other tropical events, short durations of rain, as we can see, can produce flooding.
One by one, city officials took the podium, all echoing similar statements, assuring residents extra personnel would be on hand this weekend, from emergency responders to sewage and water board workers. While no evacuations are in place, Mayor Landrieu says he's particularly concerned about coastal flooding.
Because of the potential storm surge for those areas of the city that are outside of the levee system.
It's why he's urging residents outside the city's levee protection, or those who live in low-lying areas like Venetian Isles, Irish Bayou, and the lakefront, to move to higher ground. Those inside the levees should take precautions too, he said, stocking up on the essentials like food, water, and medications. As for pumping power, officials say the city is in a better place than it was, but some are still cautious about what lies ahead.
We saw what happened a few weeks ago with a significant rain.
And the Florida Keys are slowly reopening to tourists. The Keys were closed to non-residents since Hurricane Irma swept through. Reopening the Keys is considered vital to our state's tourism industry. It was on pace to top last year's 113 million visitors before Irma. In the Keys, tourism accounts for more than 50% of jobs and 60% of money spent, totaling $120 million a year in sales tax revenue for the state.
Tourism is incredibly important to the Keys, and we know the sooner that the Keys are able to welcome tourists back into their communities, the faster the communities are as a whole are going to, and the Keys as a whole is going to be able to recover.
Monroe County continues to advise visitors that lodging has yet to return to normal. We'll find out tomorrow just how much of an impact the recent hurricanes had on jobs in the U.S. Harvey and Irma caused destruction in Texas and Florida, as well as other parts of the Southeast. Thousands of businesses had to shut their doors, putting people temporarily out of work. But that decline in employment is expected to be a short one. A hiring rebound is expected for October and November. The 5 living former U.S. presidents will all participate in a benefit concert later this month to raise money for hurricane recovery efforts in Texas, Florida, and the Caribbean. This October concert is part of a continuation of the One America appeal, when the former presidents, Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush 41, and Carter, all filmed this video urging people to help after Hurricane Harvey devastated Texas.
Hurricane Harvey brought terrible destruction, but it also brought out the best in humanity.
As former presidents, we want to help our fellow Americans begin to recover.
Our friends in Texas, including Presidents Bush 41 and 43, are doing just that.
People are hurting down here, but as one Texan put it, we've got more love in Texas than water.
We love you, Texas.
Donate to oneamericaappeal.org. We are all in this together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's powerful. Since filming that video, the 5 have since continued the effort, extending to those affected by hurricanes Irma and Maria as well. You know, it's such a great message, aside from the need for support and disaster relief, just to see 5 of the nation's leaders standing together.
Isn't that something? I mean, what a powerful group. Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely.
And you know, as I was listening to all the preparations that they're making in Louisiana, I was just thinking about, it wasn't that long ago, we were doing the same thing here along the Suncoast. So our hearts are with them up across the Panhandle all the way over to Louisiana. We've got your forecast coming up in just a minute.
Okay, and coming up after that, first alert traffic, and ancient ideas may be the key to fighting the current obesity trend. We'll have that in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
Oh, it's sticky out there. 75 degrees, high humidity, high dew point. We're back to tropical feeling, but the wind will not be as strong throughout the day today. And the showers that we're seeing right off of our shoreline, that's all as a result of that low pressure system, which helped to bring about all of the wet weather we experienced over the last couple of days. And now that moisture has moved on out into the Gulf of Mexico, but we still have a chance for rain later on this afternoon with a 50% chance in the forecast. We have seen some light rains throughout the morning hours, mostly along the coastline, just enough to turn on the windshield wiper, that's it. And then later this afternoon, those showers are going to be evident once again. So widely scattered rains, very much like we experienced yesterday. So keep in mind, if you're walking out the door, you don't have to really change your outdoor plans, but just look to the sky, because we are going to be seeing those showers and thunderstorms later on today. This is Nate, huge system out here in the Caribbean. It is going to continue to make its move on towards the north and into the Gulf of Mexico. And right now it is still tropical storm Nate, but we are looking at this system becoming stronger a little while down the road. Winds now at 45 miles per hour, moving towards the north-northwest at 14 miles per hour. We're keeping it on the track, staying into the central Gulf of Mexico. We have watches and warnings in effect now along the Yucatan Peninsula. As it moves into the Gulf, it is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane as it makes landfall, which will probably be on Sunday. What we're looking at are hurricane warnings that are now in effect, or watches in effect, for Louisiana all the way over to the Florida Panhandle. This is where the landfall is expected, and we'll continue to watch this system as it moves on up into the Tennessee Valley and eventually makes its way on up towards the northeastern part of the country. So this is what the system is going to be doing over the next couple of days. All eyes, of course, continue to watch it. We are watching the spaghetti models pretty much mimicking what we just saw as far as the track is concerned. It will be far enough away from our area along the west coast of Florida that we're only going to be seeing the possibility of some rip currents, but we're not going to be getting the rain, we're not going to be getting the winds from Hurricane Nate as it makes landfall across the southeastern part of the country. And what we are looking at here is what it's projected to be. Once it gets into the Gulf, it's really going to pick up forward speed, and we are going to be seeing a hurricane developing by Sunday when it makes landfall. So this is what it looks like over the next several days, 50 to 60% chances of rain. We keep the breezes down today, but they're picking back up right in time for the weekend. Stephanie?
All right, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep the umbrellas handy as well. No problems across Manatee County. A little bit of a volume now showing up on State Road 70. We're starting to see some action getting on the interstates in Sarasota County, but I-75 itself remains accident and delay free, and there are no problems in South County. It is 5:50, and in this hour's Health Smart, a new way to approach weight loss may give people more power over food. In today's Health Minute, Kim Hutcherson takes a look at how an old philosophy is being applied to fight our very modern obesity crisis.
An ancient idea gets a new application. Nutritionists are using the Eastern concept of mindfulness to promote weight loss. Mindfulness is being aware of your thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and environment. Diet programs using the mindful eating approach recommend taking your time while eating, focusing on chewing your food thoroughly, and being in tune with body signals that let you know whether you're hungry or full. The big lesson is that you shouldn't simply be on autopilot when you eat or mindlessly snack on whatever's around. Patients are taught to use thoughts and planning to control their food cravings, which can be the enemy of a healthy eating plan. Catherine Hutchinson lost more than 60 pounds using the technique and says mindfulness gave her power over food. She says she still eats indulgent foods periodically, but now she plans what she will eat and what she will resist ahead of time. Some researchers say they're intrigued with the concept of mindful eating and hope to see more studies done in healthcare settings. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Mind over matter. It is 5:52 and still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. We'll have your top local news headlines. And we told you yesterday about George, the stuffed animal, how his adventures went viral. Well, we're happy to tell you it has a happy ending. Stay with us.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
It is 5:55 on a Friday morning, and here are the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today. A public relations firm hired by the Sarasota County School District is out the door. Plus, Tropical Storm Nate is expected to bring some heavy winds and rain to portions of the Gulf Coast this weekend. That storm is not headed to the Suncoast. And Puerto Rican families are taking refuge on the Suncoast with plans to stay here long term. Taking a look at traffic, things are good on the roadways this morning, but a follow-up of something we talked about yesterday. It's George the lost stuffed animal. It all started when Kate Hepner discovered George at an Iowa rest stop. You know somebody was missing it, and she tried to find his owner, so she went to social media. His escapades went viral. Well, guess what? George is back with his family in Huxley, Iowa. They were able to identify a marking on George to say the animal belonged to him, and his name is actually Pup Pup.
Oh, I like Pup Pup.
Well, because you know somebody was missing him. Today's top stories coming up after this. Stay with us.